Welcome to EdScoop TV. I'm Wyatt Kash, and we're here at the SETDA Leadership Summit. And joining us today is Laurel Ballard, Supervisor for Student and Teacher Resources Team for the Wyoming Department of Education. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
I know you're working on a slew of initiatives. Tell us about one or two that you're particularly excited about.
So we have been working on connectivity with school districts. We've built a unified network with a 100 gig backbone across the state. And so now we are doing a lot of work with ensuring that districts have the ability to really utilize that within the school. So working on Wi-Fi capacity, making sure that there's enough connectivity inside the school, not just leading up to the school. And then being able to take advantage of the E-rate and the financial pieces that help build those networks and really taking advantage of those pieces. On top of that, then we're also building on that network a K-20 statewide learning management system that allows us to really take advantage of all the connectivity we've been building to build out so that we can really use that for improving student learning.
That's keeping you busy, I'm sure.
Very much.
Tell me a little about what you have seen those initiatives have in the way of impact for schools, and or what you envision the LMS will have for schools. And you mentioned K through 20, and maybe a little bit about what you've learned through this process so you could share with other districts or states.
Absolutely. So we've had some significant impacts, I think, on connectivity. So we now have in every school district the 200 kilobytes per student going to every student. We have utilized tremendous amount of E-rate now that we've moved from having 19% of our budget, and over this year we moved up to using, the state's used about 34% of the budget across the state for Category 2 E-rate, which has, we had a fifth of our school districts that had never applied before that have now applied for E-rate at least once now. So being able to utilize those funds, I think, has really been helpful and impactful and helping to reduce some of the costs that they've been incurring along the way. And then we are then looking at how do we take the gains that we have there into looking at into the statewide LMS and being able to have one learning management system that all districts can use, or they actually have their own, but they all use the same, they have the ability to use the same learning management system, and it allows us to share resources across the state and the digital, and be able to really personalize student learning, and being able to look at that not just at the K-12 level, but how do we share resources then between K-12 and post-secondary, and some really interesting discussions around alignment are starting to occur.
Have you selected the LMS yet?
Yeah, so we are using Canvas across the state, and so districts have the option to go into that, and we're kind of cost sharing with districts so that state takes on some of the costs and the districts takes on some of the costs to kind of help alleviate some of those pieces. And then we're doing a lot with moving forward. We're looking at those open education resources and being able to take those and integrate them in with the learning management system to be able to personalize instruction for different students and be able to reduce, again, costs associated with curriculum materials, and really be able to take curriculum materials that fit the needs and the context of the different districts and build upon those.
Bridging between K-12 and higher ed, is that a kind of an efficiency or cost-saving idea, or is there something kind of more forward-looking in going that kind of full spectrum?
So there's certainly cost savings. Wyoming has been experiencing some significant education funding issues, and so we are definitely looking for cost savings, but it's much bigger than that. We really are looking at how do we streamline and align our K-20 education. We've been having for several years discussions around how do we align from K-12 and post-secondary, and understanding what those expectations are when students leave the K-12 to make sure that they're ready for post-secondary or workforce, and so really having some really good discussions about that. And so these curricular pieces are great opportunities for those discussions to talk about, to occur, and to talk about where we want to go and how do we want to get there.
Yeah, a lot of vision to that. As you look ahead in the year ahead, tell me what are one or two other top priorities for your agency?
So we are very much looking at supporting district leadership and school leadership around digital learning, personalized learning, and really understanding the value and how to go about doing it. I think there's a lot of opportunities and resources that can actually be very overwhelming. So putting some of those into place and supporting districts with that, and then being able to take those open education resources and really understand how to build curriculum around them.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, as you look at the kind of broader ed tech trends, what are you paying particular attention to that you think will have a significant impact on schools and higher ed over the next couple of years?
So I think there's two that we're really watching, and that's how we do the personalized learning. We have students in Wyoming spread across a large state with basically about less than a student per square mile. And so figuring out how do we personalize learning when we have these rural and remote settings. And so that's one piece. Okay. So our second one is interoperability. There's so many different types of systems out there that help and support student achievement and student learning, that we really want to find ways to be able to connect these systems so that it's easy for students and educators to be able to access and use to build upon the student learning.
Well, terrific. Well, Laurel, thank you so much for stopping by, sharing some of the things that you're working on. Good luck with that LMS system, and we'll look forward to continuing to follow your progress.
Thank you very much.
Terrific. Look for more of our coverage at edscoop.com. I'm Wyatt Kash. Thanks for watching.